Please subscribe to our channel, and for latest update, click on the bell icon.
Hello everybody, I'm going to talk to you about group discussion. Group discussion. So what do I mean by group discussion? This is a very catchy technique which the recruiters use to eliminate people when they have to face mass recruitment. When they have a mass recruitment challenge, like 4,000 people competing for say 1,000 jobs, or maybe 1,000 people competing for 40 vacancies, 40 jobs, 40 opportunities. How are they going to eliminate? How are they going to choose the best of the best? So group discussion, otherwise known as GD, is one technique which the employers use for eliminating people. That's how I look at it. It's a power of elimination. So now what happens in a group discussion? Usually there are about 8 to 12 students. Sometimes it goes to 16 students who are seated in a circle. And the students are asked to speak on a particular topic as announced by the recruiter. So once the topic is announced, the students are given maybe 1 or 2 seconds or 1 or 2 minutes to reflect, and then they are given the permission to start the discussion. So in a group, all the 8 to 12 members sit down in a circle and they have a talk about the topic. So during the process of the group discussion, the recruiter observes each speaker, like student 1, student 2, student 3, like that. They have a marking criteria, and they place marks based on the performance of the student in the discussion. For example, they would rate the students based on the content of what is being delivered, the way it is being delivered, the body language which the student used. Everything will be analyzed and marks will be given. So then based on these marks, 1 or 2 or sometimes 4 students are selected from that group discussion to qualify for the next level of the interview. So this is all about GD. But before you take a GD, do you have to know it all? No. There may be topics which may not be known to you, but give it your best shot by trying to contribute. I would recommend you as a student, if you're a student and if you're likely to take up a group discussion, try to keep reading many things. It's not only about current events and politics that may be questioned to you. It can be a random topic. For example, the pleasures of reading is only a pleasure. So this is a topic which the group can actually debate on. Advertisements, a blessing or a boon. This can be another topic. So likewise, there are many topics which can be given for a group discussion. There's no particular target, or there's no particular fixed topics. It can be anything under the sun. And I would like to share a few things about group discussion. The first one is have rich content. This is where I recommend for you to read. Read a lot of general things, read about everything, read about the latest happenings, the latest findings, read about the gross income. Read whatever catches your eye, try to read. Because if your topic, your group discussion topic is relevant to something of this, what you already read, it will help you to contribute in terms of content. Have rich content. Next is be a leader. In a group discussion, it's always highly recommended for you to start the conversation, to initiate the discussion, because this takes a lot of courage, number 1. Number 2, it takes content and courage. Sometimes you may have the content, but you'll be waiting for somebody else to give the lead. This is our usual mindset. If you have rich content, be the leader. Start the point, start the discussion. And sometimes you'll be in a situation where you really don't know much about the topic. It's wise for you to start the discussion, to say what you know, rather than waiting and then somebody else will deliver whatever you were thinking of all this while. And then you are lost for points. So make it a point to try to start the conversation, to initiate the discussion. Well, if somebody else has already initiated it, don't get offended. Be the next person to give the next point, the second person or the third person. The next is gather information. Sometimes in a group discussion, say you are out of content, you do not know much. What you can do is you can listen to people talking. And in the process of listening, you can develop your own opinion. And you can deliver your opinion, saying, in my opinion, I think so. I'm sure we all can use that lateral thinking, that critical reasoning component, which we already have in us, and try to contribute to the topic. The next is beginning the discussion gives you a chance. When you begin the discussion, it gives you a chance to win over the others. Because when you begin the discussion as a leader, you're able to give a message to the recruiter that you are very confident, you are very capable, you can lead a team. So this is the message which you're indirectly communicating to the recruiter. Next is be relevant. Now just because you begun the topic doesn't mean you can speak irrelevant things. You must always stick to the topic. For example, advertisement is a blessing or a boon. If we take the same topic, your message should be relevant only to this topic. Either it can be positive or negative. That's your, whatever stand you are taking. That's your choice. But the message you give should be relevant to the topic. Be a good listener. Sometimes, even in our homes, when there's a group discussion, of course, not in a very formal way, we don't, no, just stop talking. I know what you're going to say. And, we get so moody. We start using gestures. We get irritated. No. Remember, in a group discussion, everybody has the same and equal rights. Everybody in a group discussion has the same rules and have the same rules, and they have the same rights as well. So, have the patience to listen to somebody. When somebody is talking or saying a point, even if you don't like it, just listen. Being quiet to it itself is a good sign. Be a listener. Even if you don't like it, you can just look at the person and nod your head. Much as to say, I'm listening to you. That's it. You're not giving out any negative message at that moment. Until you decide to talk, only then the person will know that you have a different stand on it. Next is good communication skills. As I said, communication skills, listening, reading, writing, and speaking. These are the 4 skills. And it's very important for us to use the right skill. Now, in a group discussion, you will be using the speaking skill. And in speaking skill, you will be using the verbal communication. You can even watch my videos on communication skill. There I would have dealt about 5 types of communication. So you can please watch that video. And you can understand in detail where I would have explained about verbal communication. Now here in group discussion, you're using good communication skills. That is choice of words, choice of content, and the way you deliver it, the expressions or the gestures that come along with it. This is very important. The next is phrases. Now say, for example, you are dealing in a group discussion where you don't know the topic or you're not very sure of what you're going to say next. You can use phrases like, I think so, this may be possible like that. Or probably may not be the fact because I seen there was a road accident this morning. Because maybe the topic is the traffic is always under control. Say if that was the topic. Then you say approximately. These are the little phrases. There are many phrases you can Google up and use those phrases in your discussion. This is just to support your content. When you do not have enough content or when you are trying to link your thoughts with somebody else's thought, you can use these types of phrases. Next is body gestures. You can't cock up your leg and sit down. You can't sit in a relaxed attitude or just you keep your hand on your chin, and you cannot have such kind of negative attitude there. You have to sit erect without crossing your leg, without cocking up your leg. Right? And have your shoulders little lean towards inclination, like you're inclined towards, you're listening, you're involved in the discussion, and have a pleasant face, meaning have a smile on your face, look into the person who's speaking, have eye contact, nod your head, listen well, and raise your eyebrows only when it's required. Don't frown, do not frown. These are the simple gestures that help to create a positive impact. And then don't crisscross on your ideas. Say in the beginning of the group discussion or in between, you have spoken in favor of the topic. But at the end or in the middle, you cannot say negative about the topic. So when you do this crisscross, the recruiter will be confused as to what stand are you taking. So are you the troublemaker? This is the message you indirectly give to the recruiter. So if you take a stand, stick to it. Try as far as possible not to crisscross, not to change, not to talk positive and negative. Well, if there's a dying situation where, that sometimes the topics are so, so captivating and it leads us or makes us understand that the stand which we took earlier was not so very appropriate, you can say, having learned from this discussion and or having observed from what was spoken here, I therefore say this. You can slightly modulate your statements, but don't completely give a contrast, meaning positive and then negative or negative and then positive. So be very careful as to what you're delivering in your group discussion, how you're delivering, and to whom are you delivering. You cannot say now in a group you're angry with contestant number 5, whatever statements he made. After contestant or student number 5, so many people have spoken, and then you just get so angry and you shoot back to student number 5 or contestant number 5. No, don't do that. You should not attack individuals. You can attack the statements what they made in a very polite and polished way, but not aggressively and showing negative body language. We'll see a few more factors that will help you to develop good group discussion skills. A few more points while you are in the group discussion. Never have an aggressive mood. No aggressive moods. Maybe before the GD you had a toss with your friend, or you received some sad information, or you were not treated rightly by your colleague or your faculty, whatever be the story. Never be aggressive. Never carry that mood swing to the group discussion. Go there as a fresh person, leaving your past, leaving the negative, at least the negative of whatever you receive, and be positive. Don't show anger, don't show aggressiveness. Next is, don't be a part of the fish market. What do I mean by fish market? Normally, in group discussions, in my experience, when it's 8 to 12 students there, they tend to, fight it out. They argue, they, overlap each other and shout out, and, there's such chaos. That's when we refer to the fish market. When you know that your group is out of control, the best thing you can do is stop talking. Don't add on to the fish market. Don't contribute more noise. If the group is having a heated discussion, it's normal for them to raise their voices and be screaming at each other, but you don't engage in being a part of the fish market. The next is, don't give up, make multiple entries. Say now in the group discussion you spoke as a second person, and after that you cannot sit down and say, I've given my point in the second place as a second person itself, so I don't need to participate. No, people will forget about the student which has just spoken once. Because there are 15 or 12 or 8 students there, where we have to choose just 2 or 3. So I recommend for you to give multiple entries. Now, say for example, the same topic, advertisement is a blessing or a boon. Now you have said it's a blessing because people get a lot of awareness through it. And you cannot keep mum. In between the discussions, you have to come up, you have to give some examples, you have to contribute. You have to make multiple entries. At least 3 or 4 times you have to enter by giving your opinion. This is how you keep yourself sailing in the boat. If you keep quiet, you're easily falling into the category of elimination. All right? So these are the few strategies. And next, I would be talking to you about the roles in a group discussion.